All right, let's dive in. In the epic Ramcharitmanas, there's one hero who he stands out for his unbelievable power and his profound devotion, the mighty Hanuman. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack what makes him such a timeless symbol of that perfect balance between strength, wisdom, and service. This one simple phrase from the text pretty much sums it all up. It captures the two sides of Hanuman that we're going to be looking at. On the one hand, he's famous for his incredible physical power, right? But what really makes him a legend is the deep wisdom that guides his every single move. It's that combination that truly defines him. So, here's our game plan for breaking down this legendary hero. First up, we'll talk about why he's so central to the whole epic. Then we'll get into his power as a warrior, his brilliant mind as an emissary, the unwavering devotion that is his core motivation, and finally, we'll look at the legacy he's left behind that still resonates so powerfully today. Okay, to really get Hanuman, you have to start with his role in the story. And it's so important to understand, he is not just a supporting character. No way. He is absolutely central to the entire narrative. I mean, think about it. He's so important that the epic's opening prayers mention him right alongside the main figures, Rama and Sita. And get this, an entire book of the epic, the Sundarakanda, is dedicated almost entirely to his journey and his accomplishments. That alone tells you he's a big deal right from the start. All right, let's move on to what Hanuman is most famous for, his sheer, incredible power. But as we're about to see, this isn't just about brute strength. It's a mix of raw might, smart strategy, and some pretty wild supernatural abilities. So, picture this. When Hanuman finally finds Sita held captive in Lanka, he doesn't just deliver a secret message and sneak out. Oh no, he announces his presence with authority. He starts by single-handedly destroying Ravana's personal garden, the Ashoka Grove, which was a huge symbol of the king's power. And he's just getting started. His rampage goes on. He takes on some of Lanka's greatest warriors, including Ravana's own son, Prince Akshaya, and defeats them. He proves that he, all by himself, is a force that can challenge an entire empire. And for the grand finale, after he lets himself get captured, he turns their own punishment right back on them. He uses his burning tail to set the capital city of Lanka on fire. This wasn't just random destruction, it was a devastating psychological blow to Ravana and his whole regime. But here's where it gets really interesting. His power goes beyond the purely physical. When he's challenged by the divine serpent Surasa, he doesn't just fight her, he outsmarts her. He grows to this unbelievable size, and just when she opens her mouth to match him, poof, he shrinks down to a tiny form and flies right through. Mission accomplished, no needless battle. That's strength combined with some serious intelligence. And speaking of intelligence, that brain of his is every bit as powerful as his muscles. It's what makes him not just a warrior, but a master diplomat too. You see, before Rama could even think about taking on Ravana, he needed an army. And this is where Hanuman's diplomacy was absolutely essential. He was the one who engineered the critical alliance between Rama and the Monkey King, Sugriva. He listened, he served as the perfect go-between, and he sealed the deal before sacred fire. He literally forged the partnership that made the whole war possible. And as a diplomat, you've got to admire his courage. He's standing in the court of the most powerful, arrogant king on the planet, and he does not mince words. This quote shows his absolute fearlessness. He speaks truth to power, warning Ravana of exactly what's coming for him, even while completely surrounded by enemies. So we've seen his power and we've seen his wisdom, but what's the source? What's the engine driving all of it? Well, that brings us right to the core of his character, his absolute, unwavering devotion, a concept known as Bhakti. Now, Bhakti is so much more than just loyalty. For Hanuman, it's this complete and selfless surrender to a higher purpose, and that purpose is embodied in his lord, Rama. Every amazing feat of strength, every clever diplomatic play, none of it is for his own glory. It's all an act of service and love. And the depth of this devotion is just beautiful. It's almost poetic. In this quote, when he's asked about the dark spots on the moon, Hanuman doesn't give a scientific answer. He sees it through the lens of devotion. He says the moon is also a servant to Rama. And that dark patch, that's just the image of his lord enshrined right there in its heart. For Hanuman, Rama's everywhere. And the story sets up this amazing contrast. You have Ravana, who has wealth, power, a golden city, the whole shebang.
but his arrogance is his downfall. Then you have Hanuman, honored not for his status or appearance, but for his inner virtue. The epic makes a powerful point. True greatness comes from your character, not your stuff.
And you know what? That devotion is a two-way street. Rama's love for his followers is just as fierce. The text makes it crystal clear. Rama might forgive you for a sin against him personally, but if you harm one of his devotees, like Hanuman, you will face the full fire of his wrath. That's a powerful bond of mutual love and protection.
So, with all that in mind, why has this ancient hero stayed such a powerful figure for centuries? Why are we still talking about him today? Let's take a look at his enduring legacy.
The Ramcharitmanas itself kind of gives us the answer with this incredible metaphor. It compares the challenges and corruption of the modern world, the Kali Yuga, to a cunning demon. And the force that can defeat this demon, well, that's the spirit of Hanuman himself, that perfect mix of wisdom, strength, and righteous devotion. In that sense, he's a protector for all time.
So, when you put it all together, what do you have? You have the complete hero. He's got unmatched physical strength, a razor-sharp intellect. He's a skilled diplomat. He has unwavering courage in the face of impossible odds. And all of it, every single one of those virtues, is powered by the purest, selfless devotion.
Which really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? In a world that is so often focused on personal gain and individual achievement, what can we learn from Hanuman's example? What does it truly mean to dedicate our strength, our intelligence, and our actions to a cause that is bigger than ourselves? It's a question his story has been asking us for centuries.